Okay, so welcome to the second day of our math class. I've done an introduction about our Moodle class, but didn't want to record that, partly because it's a little meandering and partly because people had personal things they wanted to share, and I didn't want to have that recorded. But now I'm going to talk about these activities. So we have this colorful bunch of stuff on a virtual whiteboard, and each row of things is one activity, and we did the first two last time. So now we're about to start this third row. And if you haven't logged into this whiteboard yet, then please do. I'm going to put something in Zoom chat so that if you haven't done it yet, it's easy if you're in Zoom. Oh, come on. There we go. It's the same link that's in our Moodle room. And the reason we have these is so everyone, whether you're physically in the same room as me or home at Zoom, can play around with the same stuff and do stuff together. So none of this is measured or graded. The computer system doesn't know who is moving what. So it's not like you have to participate. If you have a fussy kid, if you're in the middle of dinner, if that's why you're home in Zoom, that's okay. You can take a little time out and no one will know. But the more you participate, the more learning that happens.
They want me to log in.
It wants you to log, yeah, the first time you do it, you need to log in since you have a new computer, so.
Logged in.
You'll use the same LCC email.
I'm logged in.
And you'll get to make up a password for in your, you don't have to tell a real password for LCC stuff. Okay. The main things we want to use are, first of all, if you have the arrow selected, you can pick things and move it around. And if you use the other mouse button, you can slide the whole thing around. So that's how you slide around and do things. If you want to scroll, that's how you zoom. So I'm going to slide so that activity 3 is kind of central on my screen, and then zoom in to make it a nice size. The other 2 things I might want, or 3 things I might want to do, I have a pen. That's much more useful for me than you, because I have the stylus and little whiteboard that should work as a mouse. And so if I want to write something, then my handwriting is easier. If you try and write something just with a mouse, some people manage to do that, but that's a rare talent. I'm not going to ask you to write things with your mouse. If you need to put some numbers on the board, because it is a math class, this T on the side says text. And I can just make a text box and start typing 405 miles, something like that. For almost everything in this whiteboard, if you click on it, a bunch of options opens up. So I can make this big, or I could make it green, or I could make it italics, or things like that. So there we go with that. And the last one is shapes. Not very often. Usually I prepare these activities so all the shapes you would need are there, but maybe you would want to draw a shape sometime in the next few weeks. And again, when you click on it, it has options based on what it is. I want to change this to a circle, and I want to fill it in with dark blue, and so on. So feel free to play around with that now. I'm going to use special power and bring everyone to me, which should make your screen match mine in its location and its zoom. Okay, was it Zach?
It's Tommy.
Tommy, sorry, Tommy. Okay, do you need help getting where I am?
I'm just logging in right now.
Okay. So we have a warm-up that's more interesting than just making shapes and text boxes. So you can keep doing the shapes and text boxes if you want, but our warm-up is a little bit to the side, and I'm going to bring everyone to me again. So in this warm-up, someone named Marion has 6 square blocks and she puts them in a line to make a symmetrical pattern, a mirror image thing. The first pattern she made was blue, red, yellow. And then the mirror image of that would be yellow, red, blue. So your task is to take these 6 blocks, and you can just copy and paste blocks like things you normally do on a computer, and then rearrange them all. What are other patterns you can make with these blocks that are mirror image? And if you want to work on this here, you can. I'm gonna go across to my toys and actually get some blocks. And if people want to play with them here in the room, then I'll have real blocks too. So go ahead and start working on this, copy and paste squares. It would help if you talk to each other rather than everyone fighting over the same squares on the board. And see how many different ways you could make a symmetrical pattern, a mirror image pattern with those 6 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, here are the real blocks, if anyone wants to grab blocks and try and see how many ways you can make the pattern happen. Well, I'm also supposed to say that. So we have yellow, red, yellow. Yellow, red, blue.
No, let me either.
There won't let me either. There won't let me.
It's too many going at once, I'm handling mine.
Okay, we'll make them here then.
Oh. Okay, cool.
So.
So-
That's really got the good kind of me too.
So.
Mirror image. Make it look the same.
They're both the same right there.
It's
It's doing that to me too.
So I make a mirror image of themselves. Do that, and do that, and then do that. Well, I'm just supposed to do this.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
And so read instructions.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh, you
can. Can you just choose something for me to do and tell me something I should do?
Okay, I'm gonna shrink things a little bit because we're getting crowded with all the different ways we're doing this. Oh, I left some behind. Let me see if I can. Pause a moment, let me grab things.
Okay, so.
Oh, Cody is moving now, okay.
Believe I can help you. So you can go to the bus. And then.
Yeah. So. So match for me.
Okay, so we have option 1 there, option 2 there. This is a third way of doing it.
And then you can do the other one, right? What should you have?
red, yellow, blue,
Yeah.
so you made what we're calling option 3.
Then I can do option 2 as well.
Yeah, how many more can we make that we haven't made before?
Well, if we haven't tried number 4,
What should 4 be?
Right
now, it's not done because it's not symmetrical. If it starts out going red, yellow, whoops.
I got
Going
2,
red, yellow, blue.
and you got. But I made option 4.
Yeah, but option 4 right now isn't correct, because if it's going red, yellow, blue that way, then it should be
Opposite
then a
direction,
blue, yellow, red. right?
yeah, it should be the opposite direction.
Yeah, so we need to make the second part blue. Then yellow and then red. So
And that would have been
now we have a
option 4, yeah, I did option 4,
Okay,
I think I did option 5.
what's the new one?
Right here. And then-
So red, blue, yellow, that is a new one. We don't have a red, blue. Yellow. Let's just do that. Red, blue, yellow.
How many ways? This is like dice. Base is like having dice around. You're taking chances after chances on how many color combinations you can work. And you can make symmetrical each way. Is that correct?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at ones that start with red,
Red.
these two start with red. If my first block is red, then I have 2 more choices. I could either be blue or yellow.
Yeah.
Those are my only choices, right? And once I do that, I kind of have to do that pattern the rest of the way.
Cool.
So it looks like for each starting color, I should have 2 options.
You wanna
So
start
we
with
need a
red?
different option for blue. What's another way to take these?
Okay, blue, red, yellow, you want to first?
I want a different way that starts with blue, not blue, red, yellow.
So you don't want that blue, red, yellow, okay.
I want it not blue, red, because we've done blue, red already.
Okay, good.
So, okay, yeah, blue, yellow. And then this one is red. Great, Brittany's fixing it.
There you go, got it.
So that's going to be our 5th option. So now we have both ways that start with blue, and we have both ways that start with red.
What about yellow?
So we need another, that our last thing should start with yellow. So I'll make a copy of those. Someone can fix that.
I got that part. But then you wanna swap. Is this correct?
Yellow, yeah. You're faster than the whiteboard.
I just color coordination, 6th option, there you go, this is up to, it's like dice, it's like dice. Basically just. Been like doing that.
Ta-da, okay, so we have solved our puzzle. There were 6 different ways that Maren could rearrange those particular blocks in a symmetrical pattern.
Cool.
Okay, moving on.
Alright, cool, that's where it was.
So we're about to play our first math game. We have lots of math games this term. And these are games that ideally you'll play with real people together in the same place. So if you are in Zoom, then play with them as like extra homework. Find a friend, find a family member and say, oh, I learned a math game. Come do this with me. Some of them will need dice. So if you don't have any dice at home, then oh well. But there's websites that you can always use too on your phone, as well as dice rolling apps. So this game is about trying to get enough points without getting too many points. In most dice games, one moment.
Frozen.
then you roll the dice on your own turn and do something with that. In backgammon, you roll the dice for yourself and then do things. But in this game, one die gets rolled to make a random number, and everyone has to pick what they're doing with that number. Do you know any games already where the goal is to get close to a certain score but not go over?
Maybe liar's dice.
I don't know that one. Tell me about that one.
You just go around the table and you say bluff, exact. Or you raise the amount.
Okay,
Dice, and once you do that, it goes to the next person, they'll have to say bluff. Or exact, then I'll just keep on going. But each time you have to raise the quantity or quality of the dice, so there's two. You usually have one dice, when you get to after one dice, it's super.
What about 21?
21. Mhm. Do you know any other games where everyone has to use the same number, possibly in different ways? No, okay, well, let's look at what this game is.
Liar's dice.
So this game is called 101 is out. I'm gonna bring everyone towards me. And there's a link here where if you didn't have any dice, then you can use this website to roll dice.
Where was that? Was
So-
like,
Where's the website? It's this link here, dicesimulator.com. I can put it in chat if people care, although I'm not sure why you would care. Okay,
I'm rolling.
so this game is for 2 or more people, and there's 6 rounds. And in each round, someone is going to roll 1 die, and then everybody chooses to either do 10s or 1s. And we're gonna keep a running total, and after 6 rounds, whoever is closest to 100 without going over wins. And I should have grabbed some dice. I'll be right back. Let me grab my dice.
Burning on there.
I know, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's. Come get a color of 6-sided die.
So you're done, you drive.
Well, there's lots of different dice for different. Okay. Yes. Okay, so if you're here in person, we'll take turns rolling dice. If you're in Zoom, then if you have a die at home, you can roll one. Otherwise, I'll do this. Okay. We're going to play using this little chart, but I'm gonna play it underneath. And, oops, actually, I wanna make my own copy of it. There we go.
I'm gonna roll,
So
got 4.
we should have 4 teams. Let's see, we have 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do like 2 or 3 people. Can I just match people up by who's next to each other in Zoom? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so Betty and Isaac. Second team will be Kim and Brittany. The next team will be Nicole and Tommy. And the next team will be Gavin, Jody, Sean. Okay, did I get everyone's name spelled okay?
Yes.
Okay. Come on. Your bots. Okay. Would you roll our dice? Let's just go around this way. So Gavin, roll your die and tell us what number. 4. So everybody picks. Do you want to have either 4 points or 40 points? Do you want this to be a tens or a ones? So there's a text box there, work with your group. And change the 4 to a 40 if you want this to be 40 points instead of 4. And again, we're gonna roll the dice 6 different times. And you want to get a total that's as close to 100, but without going over. So if you pick 40, you're almost halfway there with just your first die roll. Maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's not. Okay, so Gavin, Jody, Sean, your team is deciding 40 is the right thing?
What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else want to do 40? No, okay, Tommy, roll your die. 3, so we can either do a 3 or a 30, so make a text box. And give yourself either 3 points for your team in your column or 30 points for your team in your column. You can copy and paste the old text box, or you could use the side toolbar to make your own text box. And talk to your partner, say, hey, Betty, do you want to do 3 or 30?
But Tommy's got Nicole.
Yeah, but they can still hear each other.
Sorry.
Okay, here, I'm gonna take this thing and hit lock, so we stop moving it. There we go.
I know, it's driving me nuts that it keeps going around so much.
I am trying to figure out how to navigate. I'm not really, I'm having a hard time.
Play with the
You're on a phone, right? And a
Em,
phone,
do you wanna do 3 or 30?
Jody. Should we stick with the even number, or I think we should.
Yeah, I'd say stick with the 40, Gavin, yeah. With the even.
I think 30, Brittany. I'm not sure how to put it up there.
okay, I can help with the typing if we need to. Tommy, can you drag the 30 down so it's in the row 2 spot? And then we'll put the 4 in the row 1 spot.
This is small. Okay.
That's 70, right? That how it works.
Okay, so some teams are at 34 and one team is at 70. Obviously, the team that's at 70 is going to start picking smaller numbers now, so they don't go over. Okay, go ahead, roll your 6-sided die, tell us what the next number is. A 6. So I'm gonna just copy this row to make things go faster. No, good. So for round 3, do you want to change the 6 into a 60, or do you want to keep it a 6?
6. 6.
Are you sure you wanna do that? Cause
Gavin and I are on your team, so you gotta tell her.
Because you don't wanna get over 100 points.
Yeah, the Gabby, Jordan, Sean team doesn't have any choice. If they pick 60, they'd be at 40, and 60 makes 100, and 30 more is 130. So you're running out of options, which may or may not be a bad thing.
I think this is a good bet.
Okay, everyone is just staying with 6, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone in Zoom have a die to roll?
I can grab one.
Up to you, or we could just keep rolling them here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, back to you, roll a die, Gavin. What is my new number?
5.
5, okay, so more 5s. Okay, anyone want to change 5s to 50s? Since everyone has at least 30 points, that would mean you'd have at least 80 points.
That's not if you want.
So that would be cutting it kind of close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other hand, maybe that's right, because if you have 80 and 6 and 4, now you're at 90. And you have 2 dice. So maybe that's gonna get up nice and close to 100, who knows?
That's 90.
I can see either way being possibly the strategic thing to do. Okay, Tommy, let's roll the dice.
Alright, let's see.
2, okay, so now it could be a 2 or a 20, so if you want to switch to 20, then. Take my 2s and put a 0 after them, double clicking on the thing.
Is my partner Nicole on Zoom?
Yes, Nicole her screen is black, so I don't know if she is there and listening and can talk to you, or if she's taking a quick break to deal with food or kids or something.
Yes, I'm here. I'm dealing with the child.
Okay. Sounds good. I've had lots of Zoom meetings with kids on my lap. Okay, last round, roll a 6-sided die, not the 4-sided, that's gonna mess everything. That makes it too easy to say, well. 2, so we're back to the same as before. Do you want 2s or do you want 20s?
Middle 2.
So then we should see what the total is for everyone. So for the first team, it was 20 and 20 is 40. 30 more makes 70. 6 brings it up to 80, so 85. Not bad. Okay, the next team, it's exactly the same, okay. Tommy and Nicole, you never had 10s except for the 30, so you were at 40, 45, you're at 49. So right now you're the farthest away.
Sorry, Nicole.
And the last team, 70, 81, and then 4, so 85 again, but just a different way of getting 85.
Almost high.
3-way tie, okay.
Slide back and get to the goal first.
So if you want, find somebody, friend or family, and say, let's play this interesting math game. See if you can beat them because you've had some practice and they haven't. Okay.
Good for round 2.
Some people play this game without pencil and paper. Especially if you play it as a game at school, then school kids are often given other things to play with, like you could have pennies and dimes to be 10s and 1s to keep track. Or you could have ones and tens from those base 10 blocks, those wooden blocks that we did something that looked like them. Like these ones here, you could use the ones and the tens.
Okay.
You could use single tiles. Here's a square, and then you could take 10 squares and tape them together to make a little like strip or caterpillar. You could have beans and then popsicle sticks, where you glue 10 beans on the popsicle sticks. So all of those are ways I've seen of playing this game to make the scoring a little more interesting.
It's about keeping it interesting.
Okay, so was this game interesting? Was it based on luck or skill?
Strategy.
Skill.
Skill.
Yeah. If there were only 2 people playing, was there some secret strategy that if you knew it, you could always win?
Secret strategy.
I've never heard of a secret strategy for this game. Maybe there is, and I've just never heard.
I think skill.
A lot of skill.
Do you think the strategy changes if there's more than 2 people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably hard to be a little more ambitious if there's more than 2 people. Take more risks. So those are the same kinds of questions we'll ask after every math game. So there we go. That was to doodle, a thing to do, number 3. Number 4, we're going to talk about sorting numbers.
Oh,
And it is 7, so there's always this like stretch break, so let's take a short break, 5 minutes, deal with kids, get some food. Things like that, I will stop the recording, and then so our new warm-up after break. Dylan got $10 for his birthday, he goes to the grocery store, which isn't very good, a place to buy toys. They only have 4 toys, a foam ball, a balsa wood airplane, a plastic truck, and a bag of small dinosaurs. But they have as many of each of those as he might want. So what combinations of toys can he buy? So I made lots of copies and we can make more. So as a kind of simple but stupid thing, he could say, I'm going to take this ball and buy it 10 times, so 2.
or I'm gonna take this plane and buy it 10 times.
He doesn't have enough for 10 planes, because planes,
Well, then I'll take this dinosaur and buy it for 10 times.
that would take $40 and he only has 10. So one thing he can do is get 10 $1 balls.
No, I just count.
So that's one option he could do. What other things can you do where they add up to 10 total?
Well, I would say 5 airplanes.
Okay, so do 5 airplanes. It looks like Isaac is already making 5 airplanes.
I would say like three volleyballs.
That's.
You could have 3, but that's only $3. You still have $7 remaining if you do 3 foam balls.
What about,
One.
look at trucks,
I would say 4 tracks.
that's 12. Yeah, you need to go
Oh, 3 tracks.
2 trucks and 1 foam ball.
3
Or
trucks.
1 foam ball.
Okay, we can do that one. Here's 1 foam ball and 3 trucks. So that's one way to do this. So should I zoom out a little bit? Gavin's working on the side.
You can get 1 dinosaur and 4. Wait. 4 airplanes? 4 airplanes, I think. No.
Small bag of dinosaurs and probably 6 balls.
Okay, that does work. Let me see if I can just. 1 bag of dinosaur and 6 foam balls, that works.
There's a lot of combinations you can use, it's like multiplying.
Thinking about like, how would I drop a bomb on a whole bunch of dinosaurs?
We're not asking what's the most fun thing to get.
That's a lot of fun, thing, but it's less than fun though.
Okay, off on the side, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, we have 3 more dollars, so let's add a truck to that, so that's one combination up there.
Yeah, that's a good one, that's.
Done.
then if you were to get two.
And here's 3 trucks. And 3 balls is 3, and this makes 6, and that makes 10, so that works. I'm gonna start putting boxes around the ones that work, so. Maybe this box to not be colored,
Yeah.
but to have a kind of thick border, okay,
Maybe like
so
that,
that's
yeah.
one,
You can see the box.
that's
We
one.
already say, you can get, one dinosaur, one small dinosaur and, 3 grade plane, small plane.
One dinosaur, and no, we haven't done that.
There you go. It's another combination for men.
One dinosaur and 3 planes, is that happening? People are making stuff down here too.
Yes, scattering all over the place.
So 1 dinosaur and 3 planes.
Yeah, oh,
There we go.
and then what about two?
Let's see, we had 3 trucks and 1 ball, but then. But disassembled. Oh, no, it's there.
Anyone, and there's another combination, I think, with one's like two small bad dinosaurs and then I think like 1 airplane.
2 small and 1 airplane,
Yeah,
okay.
one.
Okay, I'm not gonna worry about trying to get all of them, but there we
There's
go.
quite a few.
Good brain warm up.
Very cool.
Okay, so virtual whiteboards, as we are seeing, can be fun. As a side note, they're also a good job skill. If it's annoying to have to do all of this in class, then some people have to play with these at work meetings for a living. So you're learning something that's an employable skill as well as. You can move, sort, assemble, reveal, label, arrange, match, locate, complete, and explore. This is a sorting thing to do. So the first question is, I have 2 groups of base 10 blocks up at the top. One of them is, oops, that thing. Okay, so one of them here. And then the other one is here. So which one of them is bigger? Even if we don't know exactly how many they are, can we just look at them and see which one is bigger? Talk to me in Zoom and tell me which one is bigger, left or right?
Left,
Left, how do you know?
because there are 4 blocks and the other one is 2 blocks.
Yeah, so this is 400 and something. I could look a little more carefully and see it's 424, but the 24 doesn't really even matter, right? It's just 400 something. That's bigger than 200 and something.
Right.
And again, I could look closer and see 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 268. Am I counting right? But the
Yes.
68 doesn't really matter. 400 is bigger than 200. And the change is not as important.
Right.
So that's base 10 blocks, and that makes it easy. When one group has more hundreds blocks, then the 10s and 1s don't really matter. How about on the bottom, left and right on the bottom? Now the hundreds are the same. They're 300 and something both times.
Left.
Wow.
3, yeah. So if the hundreds are tied, then what matters is the 10s.
Yeah.
The fact that the right has more 1s doesn't matter. These 1s aren't very important compared to the fact that there weren't as many 10s.
Next biggest.
Yeah. So that's all about when we're trying to sort numbers, how to do things. So somebody click on the green rectangle and hit delete, and it's going to start revealing some numbers.
Okay, I'm clicking on the green one.
Everyone's
How do I
clicking on it
delete
at the
that?
same time.
Here. Got it.
I got it turning.
Don't fight over it. Okay, now somebody clicked the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Stop. You're doing great.
Here.
So one of these numbers starts with 2,000. We don't need to know what the rest of it is. It's going to be our biggest number, so we'll put it at the top. Then we have 1,200 and something and 1,000 no hundreds and something. So we can put these in the right spot. Can somebody go ahead and move those where they need to go? Okay, and I'm just gonna get rid of this, move it off to the side. Okay, and this one. Okay, now we have slid things more. We have 100 and something and 500 and something. So we can put those where they belong. Unless we move the numbers around, of course. $155 and $152, which one go, there we go. And then if we move the last rectangles out of the way, our last thing is 511. So that was supposed to be slid over more, but somebody slid it under things. So there we go, that's gonna go in the middle. So now all of our numbers are sorted, biggest to smallest.
That you slid it under, it's supposed to be over, you slid it.
Everyone okay with that sorting? Makes sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so instead of having lots of rectangles, now on this page, we're going to just slide it very carefully. Okay, I've uncovered the thousands place, or maybe it's the millions place, I'm not sure. But we know that we can move some of those numbers. Oh, that was the millions place, these are bigger. We don't know about the red and the green, so let's keep sliding. We're all fighting over, okay, stop. Yeah, so 1,400,000. And then 1,200,000 are gonna be next.
Next.
Now there's 900,000 twice, and we're not sure which of those are going to be bigger yet, so we need to keep sliding. So someone do a little bit of sliding. Or Gavin just grabs it, that works. 915, 983.
Good fault me.
915, 923, so that looks correct. And the bottom number Isaac can grab, because the 400,000 will be next. Okay, what numbers are next? This looks like 20,000 something. It's still tied, 26,000 something.
Good.
Aha, 26,100 and something, 26,500 and something.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay, and are we all done? Yeah, that's all the numbers. Great. Okay, somebody made a little error, but that obviously. Okay, ta-da, good sorting. Nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna do a slightly different task. Right now, we have one certain number with a base 10 blocks. What number is that? Just tell me out loud. What number do I have to base 10 blocks?
Oh, the little does blocks.
Yeah.
I think they're.
126.
I'll say 20.
100, 2 10s, and 6 1s.
26.
See that?
Put it
100
26.
and 26,
Okay,
right?
so we're adding all of those.
Yep. So if you wanted to make 126 with coins, then how could you do it? Isaac is showing us one way, and there is more than one way. So a Sacagawea dollar, and then a quarter, and then one more. So the question for you is, which type of objects, the base 10 blocks or the coins, do you find most useful for thinking about place value? And there's two good answers. The base 10 blocks are nice because you can just sort of look at the place values. 100, 20, and 6. On the other hand, the coins, we use coins a lot more in real life than we do little blocks. So some people like the coins because that's what we're familiar with. So we're not actually gonna take a vote and record your answer, but
Well, we all vote for both,
and so that's all on that. Okay. We're going strong. Let's start our third one. So this is a new game called Reject, but first, of course, we have a warm up. So I'm gonna bring everyone to me.
Warrior.
You want to arrange the numbers 0 through 9, which are already on these post-it tape things, so you don't have to make them. Try and make it so consecutive numbers that are next to each other when we count. Don't touch each other horizontally, vertically, or even diagonally. So if I was to put a 2 here, then I can't put the 3 there because that touches the 2. The 3 has to be like over here somewhere. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So move things around, talk to each other so that numbers that are consecutive that are next to each other aren't touching.
Zero right there.
Here, I'm gonna make this locked so we don't slide it around. There we go.
Cause the core keeps freezing me.
Then you can just talk to her, Nicole, put the 5 over here.
It's a 0 and she keeps, this is the second time, she keeps freezing my computer.
My 12-year-old likes playing StarCraft with me in the morning, which is not really how I want to spend my first few waking minutes every day. But we had a game this morning, and whenever the invading armies were coming, because we're playing co-op, and he gets there 2 seconds before my army does, because he's the Hava and can deep tunnel, and then my army is like just watching, because it's no bad guys.
The first thing I've seen Britain do.
Okay, let me look at things now. So far, so good. We have the 1, that looks great. The 6. No 7s or 5s. Up 9 and 8 are next to each other, so that's not gonna work. And 1 and 0 are next to each other, so that's not gonna work.
I thought we're talking about how many times it could go into each other. Can I do that?
Oh, no, keep. Cool.
I thought it was like just like going across.
Well, Isaac is pointing out 3 and 4 are now next to each other.
Yeah, I saw that. But the one where 9 and 4.
3 and 4 are still next to each other.
Okay.
So it does-
No, it's still, okay, yeah, that's fine. There we go, work, you almost had it. Yeah, you almost had it. Yeah, it's fine, let's do that.
Okay, so 0 is not next to the 1. 6 is up. Isaac is saying 4 and 5 are touching. What if
It's way down at the end of the hall, past the elevators, if you're looking for the bathroom, Tommy.
Okay, what if we do that? Is that gonna work?
No, you still have
3
2
and
and
4 are
3.
still the same. What about that?
No, that's rearrange it. So I'll and try to get it right.
We just, we were.
Why are you taking it all apart? We were so close.
We just gotta figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. See. You move the 9 over, you move the 9 over where the 2 and 4 is at,
Okay,
that makes sense.
okay.
There you
that-
go.
well, 9
That
and 8.
worked.
Did you find it?
Still too
Perfect, no,
long.
that's expecting.
2 and 3.
Yeah, switch your signal there, see how it works.
0, okay, how's that?
9.
3 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, you might have to swap that.
Swap 7, no, then 7.
I think they're saying 1 and 2 are too close together to each
Now
other.
5 and 6 are.
And there's still touch 2 as well.
3 and 4. Is that good? This, okay. Let's see.
3 and 4.
3 and 4 are touching.
3 and 4 touch your Benny.
How about that?
That's close enough for that one, but what about 4 and 2?
That's okay, they're not adjacent.
Good, it looks good, it still looks good,
5.
it looks good to me, perfect.
Yay, okay, good
Yeah, you
teamwork.
finally got it.
Well, there we go. Decide-
Okay, here's another place value game. And now this game has no points, but the same kind of thing happens as before. We're gonna roll a die to make a random number, and then we're going to decide what to do with it. Oh, I should have kept my die.
Darn it, now you're gonna have to go back in the office and get the
I'll just
dice.
use this one, that's fine. Okay, so the game always has 4 rounds. And in each round, the die is rolled and you pick to take that number in either hundreds or tens or ones, or you get a reject box that doesn't count for your answer. It's like the safe spot to put the number you don't want. And you want to make the highest number. So let's have 2 people play. Who wants to be our guinea pigs to do this game?
Hold die.
Gavin wants to go, okay, and then who else wants to play against Gavin?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, Gavin versus Jody. We'll all get to play in just a moment. So I'm gonna make a copy of the numbers, whoops, for each of them, okay. And I'm going to lock that so it doesn't move. Lock that so it doesn't move, lock that so, okay.
Name, how we play the game.
So I'm gonna roll the die, so I'll just do that, ready? We get 5. So take the 5 and put it on either hundreds or tens or ones or reject. And you're trying to get the biggest number, so you probably don't wanna put it on the hundreds. Cause maybe we'll roll a 6, but maybe you do wanna put it on the hundreds, cause maybe with 3 more dice, we're not gonna roll a 6, and 500 is the biggest it would be.
You know backgammon, right, Jody?
No,
So, was this yours or Jody's?
That's not.
That was-
Shoot, that was.
Okay,
that was
so I'll put it
mine.
on your, okay, Jody, take a, where do you want this 5? Hundreds or tens or ones, or reject?
the one.
Ones?
The hundreds,
Hundreds, okay, you're hoping that we don't roll a 6. Ready for the next die?
yes.
Okay. 2. Okay, so grab your 2 and put it in hundreds or tens or ones, except that if it's something's there, you've used it already. Don't grab her 2, your 2 is over here, Gavin.
Oh, shoot, sorry. I'm using my right hand when I'm left-handed and don't have any mouse.
That's okay.
That's why I'm getting confused, because he's over here taking a fucking number.
Move your number, where do you want your 2, Jody? Here's the 2, where do you want it?
Right there,
Right there, okay.
yeah.
Okay, Gavin's thinking to get a big number, I'm just gonna not use a 2. Roll another 2. Okay, so let's copy these 2s.
No, that's not cool.
Whoops. Okay, there's another 2 for Gavin. Jody, where do you wanna do with your other 2?
Put it in the reject pile.
Reject box, okay. Okay, last die. A 5. Okay, so the only spot left for Gavin is the hundreds. And the only spot left for Jody is the ones. So 552 versus 525. 552 is a little bigger. Everyone see how the game works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we have lots of spaces. How many people are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 1 more. And what I'm going to do is take all these things and lock them, so you don't move them around. That's annoying. Okay, and then we have numbers here, so I'm gonna make lots of copies of the numbers, so everyone has some numbers to grab. Doesn't really matter who grabs which numbers, you can always make more copies if you want. Okay, so. Is it okay if I just write names next to all of these game boards?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, notice that now we have bigger numbers, right? You're going to have like 24,000, 315 or something like that, whatever we roll. So these are bigger game boards. The commas didn't really work though, so I didn't put them in. Okay, so we have, let me zoom in so I can make better. Betty. Isaac. If you're dealing with food or kids or stuff and aren't gonna play, let me know and I'll just not write your name in. Colon. Gavin. And I have Rudy and Sean be together.
Yeah.
After playing with him, it was better to play with Gavin.
You wanna be, okay, well, you can be separate.
No, I'm just kidding, I'll play with my husband.
Okay, here we go, lock that. And I also want to lock that, okay. So. It's. Jody, Sean. And Tommy.
Tommy has no one to play with. Oh, he's playing with that.
Everyone is solo in this game, we have lots of room.
No, you don't got a teammate, it's a free for all.
Okay, everyone ready for me to start rolling dice?
Yeah,
If
Yes.
you need help, like. Betty's on a phone, so it's hard for her to move things around, right? So just tell me, put my 2 in the hundreds or something, and I will do what you say.
I will.
Okay. Our first number is a 3, so everyone grab a 3 and put it where you want.
remember, honey, put the 3 in your spot, don't put it in my spot.
You want me to move a 3 for you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where do you want it? 1?
right there, cause I can't get the 3 to
Okay.
move on my tablet.
I can't even get it to food.
Did mine three move?
It's just getting out of my spot.
Did mine three move?
I'm not seeing it, sometimes until you let go, but it looks like you've let go. So you want a 3. Oh, I know what happened, one moment. I need to put all of those in the background, send to back. There we go.
Alright, thank you.
Since whatever I had made more recently was like on top of the others, that's whatever. Okay. Okay, we all have our 3 somewhere except Kim. You wanna just tell me what to do, Kim? Kim disappeared, okay, never mind. Computer issue, I've had them too today. 6. Okay, grab a 6. Jody, where do you want your 6?
Right there in the middle,
In the
right,
middle?
right there.
Okay. Everyone else is putting it in the 10,000s place, cause that's gonna make the biggest number.
So here's your position and maybe a good for you to put it in the highest category. Hey.
Okay, next number. A 1. So grab a one and put it somewhere. Jody, where do you want your one?
in the front.
And you're not gonna make as big a number as you can if it starts with 10,000.
Abington, one.
And even 19,000 is gonna be less than if there was a two or a three. Okay, the next number is another three, so you can copy and paste threes if we're running out of them. I can make a bunch over here. Threes. Where do you want your other three, Jody?
In between the six.
Here?
No,
This
right,
side, okay.
yeah, right there.
Okay, oh, you can't have two things in your reject box, Gavin. That's cheating.
Yeah.
Gavin?
Okay, next number, a five.
Oh, damn. Can I switch where they're at now?
Darn it. I'm with you, where am I gonna put my five? I'm gonna mess up, darn it. There you go, my five is down in order,
Okay.
I probably lost.
The last is three. So-
Can't put a three
So
anywhere,
copy
because all
and
my
paste.
things are full.
Another three?
Yeah, we roll lots of threes. Here's a bunch of threes if you want them. Whoops.
My thing's full, so I can't put another three.
No, yours has to go in the reject box.
Oh, good.
Lucky me.
Okay, looks like lots of people tied at 65,331, but some people got 333, which is even a little bigger. Okay, ta-da. So what made this an interesting game? Was it luck or skill? Is there some secret strategy that will let you always win?
Skill and a little bit of
A
luck.
little bit of luck, yeah.
Yeah, skill and a little bit of luck.
This game was rigged from the start. There ain't no luck.
It was all rigged. Something.
It was all fun.
Okay,
Now back to our home screen.
do you want another warm-up thinking challenge, or should we just keep going with place value stuff?
Chill with whatever. How are you guys?
I'm gonna save this one. This is a fun one to do. With friends or family, if you want. You have to match up people with their nickname. So now we're doing one more game and then we'll probably be time to go. This game is not about using place value, but it is about making groups. And we're gonna think about groups of four. So it's part of a family of games named NIM, and you can look at things on your own time there about NIM. So I need two people to demonstrate NIM before we really play. Gavin and Jody were last. You have to share, let other people have a turn.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Who wants to be my two people for
I don't know.
demonstrating? Tommy is one, okay, Tommy. And who else? Who wants to play with Tommy?
Sean said here, play with Tommy.
Although Tommy,
You wanna play with Tommy? Okay.
I'm not used to this game.
I would let people from Zoom, but if they are quiet and the people here are loud, then there we go. Okay, so you just have like a spot under your name to put things, and it doesn't matter how many things you put in your spot. Okay. On your turn, you're going to take away one, two, or three of the objects. And whatever object is last in the pool in the middle, that one makes you lose. So your job is to leave Sean with taking the last object on his turn. And his job is to make sure that Tommy takes the last object. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So there's no dice, there's no randomness this time. So let's just have Tommy go first. Take one, two, or three things and put them in your box. And here, I'm gonna pull everyone towards me, so.
Where the things, about the. Oh, okay. Is there a certain amount you can?
You
do at once?
you can only do 1, 2, or 3 with this version. There's other versions of the game with different rules.
Okay.
Are you done? You just did 1?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, your turn. Are you doing 1, 2, or 3?
1.
1. Okay, back to Tommy. 1, 2, or 3.
I am going for.
So Tommy did 3. Okay, Sean, your turn.
3.
Okay, alright, Sean.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Okay, back to Tommy. Tommy picks 3. Okay, you have to stop. You can't do 4.
I'm doing 3 as well.
You're gonna do 3 as well. We're getting down towards the end. Somebody's gonna take the last one. Okay, Tommy's turn.
Just 1.
Just 1. Okay, Sean, your turn.
1 as well.
1 as well. Okay, Tommy, your turn. Oh, just hit the undo button there. Because you made an arrow instead of picking it up.
Sorry.
No problem.
I don't know how to do it.
Is it not letting you drag it? Let me separate things a little. Okay, there you go.
Alright, I'm gonna do 3.
You're doing 3. 1, 2. Okay, so now you get to,
And I lose.
you do 1 and then you leave him with the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tommy has to take this one, so Tommy has to lose. Everyone see how the game goes? So the game is called Poison because the last object is poison. This is a great game to play when you're bored with your kids. You're in line or something, you can just put your fingers out and say, let's play poison. I take away 2, you take away 1. And so on.
Kinda neat.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you the secret strategy because it's the end of class on a Thursday, so now you can torment all your friends and family by playing this thing. So everyone versus the teacher. I lined it up so that we have
I can't.
groups of 4. So here's a group of 4, 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 and you'll see why that's special in a moment. This one, we're pretending is the poison one for sure. We're just, it could be any object. There isn't really a special object until the end, but we're just, for the sake of clarity, I made this one green to kind of emphasize the strategy. Okay, so I'm going to say that I'm taking away 1 object. And now, what does everyone else playing against me want to take away? Use the groups of 4 as a hint.
Winner first.
How many objects should you take away? Talk to each other, you're working against me.
How many do you think we should take away from him?
And you're the winner. No, I don't even play.
Oh,
How many can you take away?
yeah, look at the pattern on the screen, see if anything comes to you. I'll give you a hint, don't break up the groups of 4. So I took one from this group of 4, so you should also deal with that group of 4.
Oh. Everybody take one of each. On that. Shoot, that's two.
So you take 3. So notice what's happening. Whoever goes second gets to control a count of 4. If I took away 2, you could still say that group goes away. What would you take?
2,
2. If I took 3, you can still control a group of 4, because what would you take?
1,
1, right? So if you leave me with 5 total, you've won. There's nothing I can do. If I take 1, you take 3. If I take 2, you take 2. If I take 3, you take 1. So that's the secret. Have one that's you're imagining is the poison one. And then in your mind, make everything else groups of 4. And then whatever one person does, you as the second player, and let them go first. Maybe tell them, oh, I've played this before, I'll let you go first, right? Then, but whatever they do, then control the groups of 4 so that they take the poison. Okay, so this is a very different one, right? It's not about dice, there's no luck, it's all skill, and it has a secret strategy. Can you play this game with more than 2 people? You can, but then there's no strategy, because you're never sure what both other people are going to do.
Strategy, but if there's a kind of chess.
It's not like chess, it's just a different kind of strategy.
Oh, sorry.
Chance and strategy.
Okay, we have just a few more minutes, so let me talk a little bit about the class in general. So we've done 6 of these rows. There's one more about place value, one more game that we'll play on Tuesday. If you want to peek ahead and play this game with your friends and family, you can. Does anyone other than Gavin want a copy of this whiteboard for them to mess around with that hasn't been changed yet?
No, I think I'm okay.
Good.
Okay, tell me if you decide you want one. And there'll be more things, because Monday and Tuesday, I'm gonna make all the rows for our next topic. Right, we will be done with place value after one more thing. And then we'll do rounding and estimating, and we'll start all of the activities for that. But right now they're not on the whiteboard yet. Notice that the whiteboards are exercising your brain in all the ways we need to, but they don't look like the book, right? When I click on this book, then the kinds of things that it just looks different on the page. And that's on purpose, that since you have this nice book with lots of videos and check on things, example problems, then it would waste time if I just went through this in class and did this kind of thing. So if you have questions on homework, that's a good way to start class on Tuesday. If you said, oh, I tried to do example 6 and don't understand it, or if at the end of the section, I tried doing number 21 and had trouble with it or something, we can certainly talk about the homework in class. There's nothing like, there's no rules saying we can't look at the textbook, that's why we have textbooks here. But if you don't tell me that it's important to look at the textbooks, most of the time, sometimes there's things I'll point out, but most of the time, I will just move on to our brain exercises. Does that make sense of how things go?
Yeah.
So, your job is to go in the nice textbook over the weekend, look at the example problems, look at the videos, and it tells you in Moodle that you want chapter 1, section 1, and chapter 4, section 1. Chapter 4 is the one about decimal place value. So decimal place value. And again, once you leave chapter 1, it says you have to log in. Tools go away. Okay, make it smaller. Okay, there we go. So there's chapter 4, and again, example problems have videos and do something just like this. So do enough of this that you either are happy with your work or you get stuck. And if you get stuck, make a note of which problems make you stuck, and then we'll talk about them on Tuesday. If you don't get stuck and manage to look at all of those sections and feel happy, then you can go to the My Open Math and prove that you really know it.
Okay.
You're encouraged to do homework in groups. You will learn more talking to each other, so if you are living with a classmate, that makes it easy, but otherwise, feel free to either show up Saturday at 11, although if you're there Saturday at 11 in the Zoom room this week, I'm not there. But you can all be, there's no password in the Zoom room, you can just show up. And then Tuesday at 1 PM, we can all do homework together. Or you can email me and I will email other people. You can either use your name or be anonymous, say, and I can send out an email to everyone in the class saying somebody, maybe Isaac or whatever, wants to do homework. Either Tuesday or Thursday after dinner, because that fits their schedule. Anyone want to do homework at that time, right? So I can help you arrange study groups. If that's what you want. And if you get stuck and the videos in the book aren't good enough, then YouTube has some videos also. And then there will be our class recording will appear here once the recording is processed and everything. So those are all your resources. Everyone clear about what to do for homework?
Yeah.
I have something kind of, you brought up to the brain exercise, it's kind of waking your brain up a little bit. Basically, that's what it is.
I have a question about the bus passes that who I talked to about that.
In the office, but they're already closed for tonight, so that'll have to be another day.
Okay,
But that's do you have their phone number?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay, anything else before we're done?
No.
I'm good.
Okay, well, may your homework go well. May you be pleasantly surprised how much these fun games that don't look like math work necessarily. Help get ready for the textbook. And tell me on Tuesday that you did homework great, or you got stuck, and these are the ones we should do together. There's no virtue in banging your head on the wall with homework. If you come to me on Tuesday in class and say, oh, I spent an hour trying to do section 1.1 number 30. And I will just say, why did you waste an hour of your life on one homework problem? If you're stuck, make a note about it and move on.
It's only important to it.
I'll check that when it gets frustrated with homework, I'll get yell at you or bang my head against the wall.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
That's a good enough cracked it over it.